Hey, hi everybody. Welcome along back to Sally's Sweet Life. Such a wonderful practice I've got for you today, which is Yin Yoga. Yin is all about holding poses for a really long time. So it's cool, it's blues and greens, it's feminine energy. We are bypassing the muscle and we're getting right into connective tissue, and I'm going to tell you a whole lot about it as we go along. So this one we're not even really going to be even standing. So I haven't even got my yoga mat. I don't need it for grip today, which is nice, just using my beautiful wool rug from New Zealand. Thank you very much. And but I am using a bolster. Now if you don't have a bolster, that's just fine. You could use a couple of pillows. It's just here to help you to let go and surrender, which is really what Yin is kind of all about. So if you're ready, I'm ready, and we can begin. And we're going to start on your back. So lay back. And then we're just going to take your feet as wide as, I guess, your mat, and bring your knees in. I'll take a nice deep breath and get that feeling of really relaxing down into your lower back. Just relax your arms. So Yin is the opposite of Yang, and it's cool and it's calm and still. Let's move your arms though. We're going to take them wide and then up overhead and just relax them down into your mat or into the floor. That feels nice. Traditionally, Yin is Yin Yoga is cool yoga. So we're actually not wanting to be warm, and we're wanting to be cold. And if we're cold muscle, we get right into that connective tissue, which is fantastic. So we're going to take a nice deep breath and then just let the left knee come out wide and down to the floor, and let the right knee come down as well. So as you can see, one of my knees is down, the left side is down, but the right knee isn't. It's floating, and I can feel this tension and a bit of a stretch right through the side, even into my oblique, and reaching my arm up really helps with that, so that's nice. I'm going to just turn my head in the opposite direction of my knees, so I'm always completing a gentle twist. We might do some twist later on if we've got some time. Good, and then breathing in, bring your head back to the center. On your next in-breath, just pull the knees up and gently roll them to the other side, just like you're turning pages in a book. So let it all just come down, just relax down through that top leg. That's the one. That's the spot. Feels great. So good. And then just gently turn your head the opposite way. And start to get a feeling of releasing the gripping of muscle. I'll talk a bit about that later on, but just start to notice where you're gripping. So even if it's in your jaw or around your neck, if you can just let go around there. Yeah, we're just letting gravity do all the work for us. There's absolutely no effort in our Yin Yoga. There's no force. So nice. Nice for a change, right? Let's bring your head back to the center. Bring your knees in. We're going to hug your knees in towards your chest and then roll to the side and come up. Let's take a seat. Here we go. We're going to use the bolster for the first time. So I'm going to put this is butterfly pose. So I've got my feet together, not close into the groin. I want to have some distance, so you want to create a shape like a diamond. I'm really lucky I've got this beautiful organic bolster, and it's big and it's quite stiff. And that's what I'm wanting. But if you've got one at home, good for you, or if you're using a big pillow, I want you to put the end of the pillow at your feet and then just gently fold it. Fold it down and then see if you can put the end into the lower part of your abdomen. Immediately that feels amazing. It feels kind of comfortable, and it's going to allow me to relax into that, to let go. So I'm actually going to fold over the top. Sorry if my mic gets a bit of noise there. And then just rest the head. So if you don't have a bolster and it doesn't really provide you with this type of support, that's still okay. You can hold on to legs and just rest your elbows. But this is a really nice posture for just expanding into the lower back. It's so nice. Into hips, we're going deep into hips later on. And just coming back to your breath. You don't have to do anything special with the breath, just notice the breath, because as you notice the breath, it brings you into the present moment. And that's a perfect moment. Good, let's breathe in and come up. We're going to use your bolster a little later on, so we'll pop it to the side or out of the way. Extend your legs out ahead of you and then bring your right foot up, and if you can, over the top. We're going to scoop the foot in, and that's not going to be achievable for everybody, I can assure you. But if you can, the base of the foot is lifted, right? So that you can, the knee comes down. If this is just too tight and not achievable for you today, that's okay. All you can do is bring the foot up a little higher, or just cross it over and just lay it like that rather than pulling the foot in. There's a little option for you there. I do want to talk to you about the pelvic alignment, because as soon as I'm in this pose, and this is, if I use yin terminology, this is probably called half shoelace. I can feel it really strongly in this bottom left leg, right behind the knee. It's stretching into hamstrings. So I need to realign my pelvis. The first thing that happens for most of us is this collapsing into the lower back. I'm rounding here. So what I want to do is drive up and pull up the vertebrae really strongly up. And I can feel that immediately. As soon as I realign my spine, it connects me with this great stretch. If you're quite flexible, and you're wanting to push this on a little bit further, keep the integrity of your spine, but then just come down. No, I'm going to reword that. Instead of coming down, come forward, right? Like you want to try and kiss your feet. Because if I come down, I curl into my spine, and I'm not wanting to do that. I want the length. So gripping in intense poses happens lots. And what you want to try to do is just let go of the muscles. Feel the floor support you, which hopefully helps you to surrender into the pose. And deep breathing also helps us to surrender. Nice. Okay. Let's slowly lift up. I'm going to take the right leg over the top, coming wide this time. I'm going to take that left leg really wide, and if you can, angle the foot behind you. Now again, not everyone's going to be comfortable doing that. So if you're hitched up and you can't get both sitting bones down, I want you to pull that knee in, and if it feels okay for the knee, just make this space a little bit more narrow. If you can go wide, go wide. If this hurts your knee here in half saddle, then perhaps bring it in front, and that should be fine right there. So find a pose that's great for you. It's so important in yoga. And again, I'm just wanting to take a moment into my spine. So tilting forward, I'm right up on the sitting bones, which is great. You can use your bolster again. You put it across from you. And this time I'm wanting you to put your elbows or your forearms on the bolster so that it kind of props you up. It's really reinforcing that back, that straight back, that beautiful pillar of energy coming from right underneath you, right up through the spine, out the top of the head. Now you'll feel this one, it's beautiful around the knee, really knee awakening. I think we're a little bit lower back and knee sensitive in our community, so this one's good. It also is working deeply into hip, and as I tilt forward it works into lower back as well. So again, it's all about surrender. Coming down. Get that feeling like, almost like your hips and your sitting bones are extending and growing roots down into the floor so that the stem of your spine and the trunk of your spine lengthens beautifully away from your hips. Good. Okay, let's start to lift and come out. I'm going to move the bolster temporarily. Pull that leg out. Wow! Yeah, that's tough. And I'm coming into what they call dragonfly for Yin Yoga, which is the wide leg forward fold. Just use your hands if you need to. This one can bring tears to your eyes. So we need all of the support that we can get to really let go and surrender. Again, you could use your bolster. You could put your bolster in, again, right into the abdomen and come down over the bolster. Whatever's going to help you to let go. If you feel like you're curved in your spine, just soften down just like we were in half saddle. If you don't need a bolster at all, lucky you, you've obviously done some gymnastics in your time. You can come all the way down. So deep groin stretch, still in around the hip. The right hip will be a bit more chatty than the left hip at this point. And just try and let go of the deep muscles in the abdomen. Let go of the legs. It's easier to say, I think, than to do. Nice. Okay. Ooh, come on up. Let's try the other side, okay? So I'm going to take my left leg over this time and pull it in, exposing the base of the foot. Taking a moment to lift really tall. Just breathing, feeling the pelvis. Sometimes in yoga we talk about the pelvis as being this beautiful bowl that holds the pure essence of you. And we don't want to collapse into the lower back and let the power run out the back. We're wanting to pull the power in and keep it level. And even as we tip forward, if that's you, it may not be, you might be quite happy here. There's just still this sense of pulling in, just gentle pulling in the center as we explore the length of the back of your right leg. You're okay, Terry? Good, he's giving me the nod. That's good, I like that. Alright. So I'm here and it may look like I'm letting go, and I just can feel like I'm gripping, I'm holding on in this left leg. And if you, maybe that's you too, so just let it go. Let the muscles just really relax down, and then suddenly you'll feel like there's a lot more space. Space to breathe, space to stretch, space to exist. So nice. So healing. Good. Coming up. Ooh, wow. Okay, let's go to our half saddle. I'm going to take that right leg way wide. Pull the left leg back. Again, remember, because one side could be different, pull the knee in if you need to. Pull the foot in front if you need to. Make it good for you, so you're able to surrender, so you're able to feel that success. Use the bolster if that's for you. And then ease, we're not forcing, we're just easing into the pose. Then easing is like a very strong connection to breath. The more we breathe, the more we exhale, the more relaxed our muscles. What a beautiful time to close your eyes and just breathe and scan for gripping of the muscles. Being mindful of your thoughts, trying not to fight it in your mind, because you'll just fight it in your body. Oh, okay. I feel it more when I come out, I think. Let's revisit dragonfly. Wide legs, tilted spine, get the bowl of the purest golden essence of you is what I like to say to my class participants. Pulling it in so it almost lifts up the Sushumna pillar, up your energy center line. As we tip forward or not. And part of, I think, yoga is not only just learning poses and awakening in the body, but also being able to awaken to your own boundaries and honor that. That's part of what Namaste is honoring. So where are you today? How do you feel today? And really moving in that, in those boundaries, and that's fine. Make it good. Great. All right. Whew. We're ready for something different. So come on up, bring the legs in. Actually, you might like to do this. You might like to lean back and just kind of windscreen wiper the legs. That feels really good around the hips. So nice. Are you still with me? Okay. Let's go into another stretch. This one is a deep lunge. We're going to be coming in, right in around the hips from a different perspective. So let's step confidently forward with your right foot. Now, normally I absolutely insist on ankle-knee alignment for the integrity of the knee, but we're not here long and we're going to just change that a little. So I'm going to pull the foot back, sink in, and you'll see now that my knee is, actually it's a little bit in front of my foot, okay? And I just want to really just like, lean into that so I get this great awakening right around the Achilles, around the base of the sole, the base of the calf. Heavy in the hips, long in your spine. One more breath. Good, and then come back up. I'm going to shimmy the foot forward, whoops, a little. Now I'm looking for that great alignment that we were talking about before, because I'm going to use that alignment to get a different stretch. It's kind of the same but different. So I want to sink in. Now again, you could use your bolster to bring the floor to you. That's what's so great about bolsters. They're just so supportive. You could do that if you wanted to, or you could use your hands, or if you're really wanting something quite stronger, you could pull back, arch your back. So you're trying to get your shoulders back over the top of the hips and sink down. And this is really going to stretch through the hip flexor. That's not really for me today, so I'm going to use my knee for support and use my hand for support. Beautiful hip flexor stretch, feels great. Alright. Pull back, grab the bolster. You can revisit that very same pose. Otherwise, you might like to go into splits on top of the bolster, or maybe off the bolster. Completely up to you. With the splits, for me, it's just quite a new thing. It's a new trick for me. I'm rolling into the right side. I want to lift and try and square up as much as I can, and I'm not going to be here long. This is a hugely grippy pose. Very, very difficult for any of us, I think, to really let go for this one. So let's just go one more breath. Yes. Then, if you're with me, you could just bend the back leg and come out. Otherwise, power up any way you can. Whew. I'm going to get my bolster out of the way. Small intermission pose. Knees under hips. Readjusting my top. Press the hips forward. I want you to look down and make sure that your hips are in line with your knees. This is really important. We're doing a little soft camel. And you start to lift in the heart and roll back in the shoulders. I'm going to use my hands on the back of my legs. You can always use the hands on your lower back. Pull the elbows back, lift the chin, really get this beautiful opening. Yay, nice. And then we're going to come back out and down. Drop your hips down if you want to, and then we'll go the other side. So we're lunging again. Okay, so let's step your left foot forward this time. Again, we're pulling the foot back from where we normally would go, setting that knee over the toes. I taught this one this morning, kind of do a little bit of a practice before I hit you guys. So, and what some of my participants are saying is that they can't feel it. So what I suggested is that they pull their foot back more, and you want to be right on the edge of this heel lifting off the floor. And then you don't lean away from it, but lean into it. And there you have it. There's that great stretch. And it just kind of slides in. It takes a little bit of time. Once you feel it, that's all we really need. Pull back, inch the foot forward, realign. You want to feel square in your hips, heavy in the hips, supported by floor or knee. Remember, you can go, you can be here. Okay, not for me today. Feeling the blanket of gravity heavy over the back of the head and the back. I'm closing my eyes, just getting a more of an intrinsic feel, more of a deeper feel. Feels good. Feels good, like it's like I'm getting somewhere. All right, pulling back, breathing in, into splits. use the bolster again if you want to. Remember, we're not here long. Quite often you'll find that one leg is strong or it gives you a little bit more give and length than the other side. Just honour that. So if it's a little bit too much, just come back to that lunge, which is a beautiful preparatory pose for splits. Let's just stay in it for one more breath. And then just coming out all the best that you can. That feels good. All right. Whew. Let's work into upper body now a little bit more. So I'm going to take my bolster, bring it in front, lay down on my front. Actually, it might be nice to do seal pose to begin. So let's put your forearms down on the floor, spread the fingers. Squeeze the butt, pull in around the waistline. There's a little bit of muscle here, and then we just roll the shoulders back. Alright, and then I'm going to slide my bolster in. You could use a block if you needed to as well. I'm going to lay down more and just hook my elbows right over the top. Not in the middle of the bolster or at the end, I'm right on the edge because I'm wanting some distance. I'm going to bring my hands into prayer. Ooh, and then take a deep breath and then just lower my head down onto the bolster. Pulling prayer hands back in over my head. Let the legs go. Let the jaw go. Good. Inhaling, coming back up. We're going to slide the right arm underneath again. Sorry about the mic if it's getting a bit of a shuffle there. Reaching your left arm over the top. Going to lower my head down onto the bolster. Left to the side that you're looking toward, that knee comes up. It's a little bit like a recovery position. And then I'm going to readjust my head. So I'm going to lift my head and look straight down. Again, working on relaxing, using the bolster to feeling like that foundation of support. Something that we all don't feel all of the time. Maybe you're looking to family or friends for support and it's not happening, but you can really look around you for nature. So the floor itself can support you all the time. Good, we're going to turn your head back over toward the left. You put your left hand on top of the bolster. Lift up and then scoop that arm out, readjust the leg, and over we go the other side. So reach the right arm over the top, slide the left arm down and through like you're threading the needle. Drop the head. And then when you're ready, scoop up the right knee. It's not going to be really high, it's just a little. And then when you're next breathing out, after a conscious breath, just realign the head so you're looking straight back down. Actually closing your eyes is better. coming into breathing, relaxing in the moment. That's what yin is all about. And when you're ready, turning your head over toward the side, toward the right, using your right hand to press, use the strength of that arm to lift, and then you push your knee back. Wow, we're almost there. So I'm going to flip on over now onto my back where we first started. And already I can feel like the stretches, and I can feel like there's this great, it's background and the background power of the stretch. It's really different from a muscle stretch. I'm going to slide that bolster right underneath my knees. Take a deep breath and lift my hips up and pop it right up on top of the bolster. This one's called, well, I don't know what it's called in yin. I might have to look that up, but it's called Viparita Karani in traditional Sanskrit. Legs up the wall pose, but I'm not using a wall, obviously. I've got now with the bolster, don't put it under your lower back. Make sure it's right underneath your pelvis, your butt. All right. And then relax your arms down. I don't want you touching the bolster. I don't even want you touching your body at this stage. I just want you to feel, as you close your eyes, it almost feels like you don't have any legs. They just kind of lose their beautiful feeling here in a nice way. If you're wanting a little bit more, I'm going to reach my arms up overhead. And I can feel that now more in the thoracic part of my spine, in my mid-back. Just turning the tables on the blood pressure in your feet, which is normally really high. And we are draining, can you feel it? The draining of the blood from your feet, through the calf, through the knees, into the upper portion of your legs, pooling into the pelvis. Beautiful healing blood. Into the lower back. Tingling of your toes, just move them around. They might feel a little different. That's good, that's what we want. And just bending your knees, allowing your feet to touch down to the floor. I want to use that blood, so I want to tip my hips up and let that blood drain in toward the heart center. For a moment, lowering the hips down, bringing my arms down. I'm actually going to lift my hips briefly again to push the bolster away. And then just relax here in yin, call it pentacle pose. Actually it's arms overhead for pentacle, but today arms are just beside our body, taking a moment to really just relax, closing your eyes. So just taking a deeper breath now, filling up your body with breath. Hopefully it's inspiring you to move, moving your fingers and toes again. You can step your feet up on top of the bolster and perhaps scoop in. A little bit of rolling in your lower back. We're going to roll over to the right hand side. Just for a moment here, just relax down. Using the strength of your left arm, come on up. Let's come into that beautiful seated position of your choice. You could kneel, you could drop your bolster. I think I will. Any position that feels great for you. I just want you to close your eyes when you arrive. Again, coming into that beautiful feeling of the grounded feeling of your hips, the lifting feeling of the stem of your spine. Feel like the bud of the flower is your head and it's just sitting perfectly on top of your spine. Let's breathe together and finish. We're inhaling, arms go wide and high. Exhaling, hands come down. They tap gently on the top of your head. Bring your hands in front, thumbs connect to your forehead in between your eyes. Hands move down to their final place. Your thumbs connect at your sternum. Let's breathe together here. Thank you so much for joining me here today for Yin Yoga. I certainly hope to see you again soon.